The economy is one of the Trump administration's biggest talking points as we get a better than expected January jobs report that added some 130,000 jobs. But some recent polling shows Americans are still wary. A recent poll shows nearly 3/4 of Americans see the state of the U.S. economy as either fair or poor. Correspondent Libbey Dean is live at the White House. So, Libbey, we've seen the president hit the road on affordability. Where does the administration plan to go next?
Well, Nichole, no plans for the president now for the next stop there to tout the economy. Well, we did know that that was something that the White House was anticipating doing weekly, but that certainly hasn't taken place. But there are a lot of good indicators right now, Nichole, in the economy, as you were mentioning there. But what you mentioned, that really isn't breaking through with a lot of Americans, a lot of voters. And the president himself had actually suggested that his team wasn't doing a good enough job, his communications team not doing a good enough job to get the word out about the administration's economic successes. And that's largely because of the president's promise to lower those prices across the board. But more than a year into his presidency here, people and Americans are these grocery prices, they're still up. And that's what Americans are pointing to as their concerns. Also, we're seeing higher energy and healthcare costs as well. Now, if we take a closer look at the numbers here on the groceries like ground beef and coffee, all up, while things like eggs and gasoline, those are down. That's all according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Now, as you're mentioning the White House, they're pointing to the rising stock market, also that stronger than expected jobs report you detailed there for January as proof that the economy here is improving. And a White House official had made this ambitious promise of the president taking those weekly trips I mentioned across the country, making stops to tout his economic agenda ahead of the midterm elections. But as I mentioned, it's been over 2 weeks since the president's last trip there, Nichole.
Well, speaking of the president, he received bipartisan legislative pushback on his tariffs against Canada. What more can you tell us?
Yeah, Nichole, this was so noteworthy because President Trump has used his tariffs to tout the state of the economy right now and was really pointing to them as a success point. But there was actually this pretty stunning break from the president's agenda on tariffs by 6 Republicans. This all happened late yesterday. Those Republicans joining Democrats to pass this resolution to terminate the president's push for tariffs on Canada. Now, President Trump actually taking to social media, threatening to primary Republicans who oppose the tariffs. On True Social, the president wrote, they will, quote, seriously suffer the consequences come election time. So that was the president's message. As for the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, he was disappointed in those defections that he saw by those 6 Republicans, saying that the president should be able to conduct this trade policy, his tariff policy, without interference. Let's take a listen to Johnson.
The president's trade policies have been a great benefit to the country. It's undisputed what it's done. I went through some of the statistics and how that's helped the economy. And I think the sentiment is that we allow a little bit more runway for this to be worked out between the executive branch and the judicial branch.
So that vote rebuking the U.S. tariffs on Canada comes as we also know Congress is weighing a similar vote actually on President Trump's tariffs on Mexico. So that's going to be something that's important to watch. But more importantly, we're watching also the Supreme Court, who is considering if these tariffs, if President Trump's tariffs here and how he imposed them, if that is legal or not. So a lot to watch here from the Supreme Court, Capitol Hill, to the White House's reaction as we saw those 6 Republicans make that pretty stunning break from the president's tariff agenda just yesterday, Nichole.
All right, Libbey Dean live for us there in Washington. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.